fixed a smile in place and held it there for 3 seconds before meeting her grandma's gaze again. Yes, a smile. That's what she needed. Even if she didn't feel it, Grandma Joy would see it. Even if she didn't recognize Millie's smile specifically, well, everyone appreciated a smile, right? The smile in question trembled behind the cover of her hands, and Millie sucked in a quick breath between pinched lips. Remember. She just had to remember. This woman, the one in the faded purple rocking chair, wasn't the one who had raised Millie. She wasn't the one who had taken in her only grandchild and provided for her every need. At best, she was a facsimile. But the only thing Millie could do about it was paste a smile on her face and try to help her remember, and pray that Grandma Joy would come back to her. Please, God, let me have her a little longer. Miss Sullivan. Millie jumped, a shiver racing down her spine. She knew that voice, and it never brought good news. But she was paid up. She was. Her last check hadn't bounced, and Golden Isles had cashed it immediately. Turning toward the woman at the open door, Millie bestowed the smile she'd been saving for her grandma on Virginia Baker. The woman's sleek bob wobbled in greeting, but she didn't bother returning the grin. May I have a word? A word? Sure. It was imagining the second, third, fourth, and fifth that sent her stomach into a nosedive. Still, Millie turned her back on Grandma Joy and walked toward the door. Virginia held out her hand in a silent invitation for Millie to step into the hallway. Millie tried to take a steadying breath. The rumble in her stomach was far too much like that time she'd been called into the principal's office for falling asleep in class during high school. She hung her head the same way she had all those years ago as she stepped past Virginia from the warm tones of Grandma Joy's room into the garish lights of the hallway. Miss Sullivan, there's just no easy way to say this. Suddenly, it was hard to breathe. She pressed a hand to her throat and tried to gasp a thread of air, but it didn't help. Neither did Virginia's unforgiven monologue. She's getting worse. When Millie opened her mouth to offer an argument, Virginia shook her head. I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know. Millie risked a glance toward Grandma Joy, who had closed her eyes and let her mouth drop open. The even creaking of her chair had ceased, and she looked at peace, no longer disturbed by the arrival of a woman she couldn't recognize. With a sigh, Millie nodded. She knew. And no matter how much she wanted to deny it, there had been no evidence to indicate otherwise. Grandma Joy wasn't going to get any better. Her memories weren't going to come back, at least not for longer than a few minutes. But they were in there, and every so often one surfaced, only to nosedive back into oblivion before Millie could use it to pull her grandma closer. Your grandmother needs better care. More personalized. She needs someone to look after her one-on-one, all day and night. I know, but... Virginia held up her hand. I know money is a concern. That was the understatement of the century. Money wasn't just a concern. It was the only one. It was all that was holding Millie back from giving Grandma Joy the finest room in